During the airlift, there were 31 American airmen and 39 British airmen that gave their lives for the former enemy. They were killed during the blockade. And there were 5 or some more Germans that were being taken back and forth that were workers on the airlift that were killed. So the enemy became a friend, even to the point of giving their lives. They were the heroes. They were the main heroes. Now, the military heroes was the General Tunner, the organizer of the whole thing. The British General Robertson worked with General Tunner, but General Tunner had the responsibility. He was a genius. He worked 18 hours a day, making sure the airlift worked well. And and then again, on the military heroes were the ones who gave their lives. And then the next hero was General Tunner, because he made it work, made it possible. And then on the military, there were wonderful people. I don't call them heroes, but better than the pilots were the aircraft mechanics, the people that fixed the airplane. There were so many airplanes in the field, they couldn't put them in the hangar. So in the winter of 48 and 49, they had to repair them out in the open with snow and ice. And they'd have a piece of canvas, and the aircraft mechanics had to work out in the snow at night and daytime steady. Fingers working on the cold engine, on the changing engines. They were better than the pilots, I think, because there'd be no pilots over Berlin if it wasn't for that aircraft mechanic fixing that airplane so it'd fly. The other people that were great in the military were the ones in the radar shack on the ground in Berlin. But without them, in November, this month, now it's November, in 740 hours there are in the month of November, and there was only 62 hours in November in 48 that you could see the ground. Everything else, 444 hours, had to be with radar to bring you on the ground. So the people in the radar on the ground, not the pilots, were talking us down through the fog. And it wasn't for them, the airlift wouldn't have worked. So all the pilots did was fly them in and wait for them to load it and take them off. So those people. General Tunner said, airlift should be dull as water dripping on a stone. Very dull. Everybody does their part, like the aircraft mechanic, the radar people, the cooks, the bakers, the security police. It's a symphony, and everybody must play their part to make it work successful. Pilots get too much credit. It's the people that put together ein gutes Mannschaft gehabt to make it successful. So now that's on the military side. On the civilian side, the Germans were the heroes. They slept in bombed-out buildings without heat, were very wenig heizen, sehr wenig heizen, and sehr kalt war. And they said, we'll never give up. And they slept in bombed-out buildings, and Licht nur 2 bis 4 Stunden in Morgen, früh in the Morgen, in the night. So, but they are the heroes. The Soviet says, we'll give you fresh food. Turn in your card. Give us your card and sign up with our card. Some did, but very few did. They said, someday we'll have enough to eat, but if we lose our freedom, we'll never get it back. They were the heroes. And Hans Reuter was the great leader. So both sides had people who made the airlift work.